From the campus of Preble High School in Green Bay, Wisconsin, welcome to the start of the high school football season. I'm Chris Conley, and the Evergreens are on the air. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff between DC Everest on the road to open up this campaign against the Green Bay Preble Hornets. Glad that you're with us on our Zaleski Sports coverage, a new way to enjoy Everest athletics. We'll have every DC Everest football game right here through the Zaleski app and through the YouTube channel and online. Glad that you found us and are listening in. We'll also have volleyball and boys soccer coverage throughout the fall. So it really is a new era of coverage in the DC Everest athletic department. As I begin my 12th year as the voice of the Evergreens, glad to still be a part of it. You know, a picture really is worth 1,000 words. I'll get to talk half as much, and you'll see 3 or 4 times as much as we get ready for football tonight. Now, these two teams played each other last year. Preble came onto the schedule along with Chippewa Falls. They're the weeks 1 and 2 opponents this year. Evergreens got off to a fast start. They had a 20-0 lead. Preble got on the scoreboard right before halftime. The final was 42-20, and the game really wasn't that close. Preble put a couple of touchdowns on the board, their second string against our second string. The Evergreens got off to a good start a year ago. I mean, it sure is a different look. The Evergreens have Jack Bobinski, the senior, left-handed quarterback, will be at the controls this year. He did play a great deal in the opening game. In fact, he was splitting the time with Bo Spoke in week 1. Bo is graduated and is now part of the DC Everest Alumni Club. One of the things that'll be interesting about Everest, no Ty Strelo and no Brock Babish. They were the Evergreens' 2 leading ball carriers. I mean, they got so many touches last season, and all of that ball control, that ball handling has to be absorbed by somebody else now. And the Evergreens may be more accomplished as a passing team than they are a running team. Just the running back core and the ground game is going to have a lot of new faces, so that's kind of an unknown. And yet when Jack Bobinski throws, and he was kind of a drop-back look quarterback last year. I mean, Flynn Huffman's a senior. He's a big target. He's sitting on a big year. Clay Holman's been prominent in practice. And Bobinski, if you saw him from a year ago, now, he was a junior last year, back for his senior year now, and you think, well, gee, is he a new quarterback? I mean, no, he's not. He's really a known quantity for the Evergreens. He played a lot in weeks 1 and 2. The Evergreens had a midseason injury to their starting quarterback, Bo Spoke, so Bobinski came in late in the second quarter and guided the Evergreens to a victory in the Spoke injury game. That was on the road against Appleton West, so that's not easy to do, to come in cold off the bench in a one-score game where the Evergreens pulled out the victory. Then for the next 2 weeks, Bobinski was the starter and got another win under his belt. So the junior to senior transition for the Evergreens quarterback Jack Bobinski, I think he's got that pretty well down. And yet, a week ago, the Evergreens had their scrimmage. It's the first time you see live action before you kick it off in week 1. And Bobinski said, he really wished that he got more out of and that he played better in that scrimmage. And I'll just tell you, he's oozing confidence in his pregame warm-ups today. Looks like somebody who's sitting on a big day. As for Green Bay Preble, we saw their quarterback, David Torres, last year. Torres got lifted in the second half for Brady Holcomb, and both are back this year, and both have taken warm-ups. So for Preble, it's entirely possible that the quarterback duties will be split again tonight. Preble was 2-7. They lost their first 3 before winning 2 in a row and then losing the rest of their games last season. Evergreen should be favored tonight, but it's the first game of the season. You only think you know what you have. And sometimes really what you've seen in practice and what you've seen in scrimmages just looks a little bit different when you blow the whistle and start playing some live action football. The weather is perfect for a Thursday night to kick off this football campaign. Teams are lining up, Evergreens across their sidelines along the way, Green Bay Preble across the back end zone goal line. And I believe we're going to turn it over in just a moment to our student musicians for the Star Spangled Banner. PA guy will get us going. Crowd's a little bit sparse tonight. I mean, you get that. The school year is still, 2.5 weeks away from the start of class. Everest had a fan bus. We got a lot of parents. In fact, the Evergreens are very well represented. They're filling up the stands to our left as you watch the Zaleski Sports feed. And Green Bay Preble, well, that crowd has filled in a little bit since the last time I looked down there to our right. Weather's going to be perfect tonight. Weather's not going to be a factor. It's a little bit humid. It'll be 78 degrees at kickoff, and the wind is mostly calm. As you see, we play in a grass field. Got a pretty good crown here, so see if the quarterbacks are overthrowing on passes to the flat. You got to aim a little bit lower just because the field's going to carry the ball higher when you throw sideline to sideline. And now the Green Bay Preble Prep Band and the Star-Spangled Banner. Nice job by the band here. Let's take our first commercial break, and then we'll kick off DC Everest and Preble, the start of the 2022 high school football season, next on Zaleski Sports.
Thank you for helping Abbey Bank become the most highly recommended community bank.
Thank you to all of our customers for helping us be successful.
Thank you for putting your trust in us.
Thank you for your loyalty.
Thank you for helping us support our communities.
We are grateful for customers like you.
Thank you to all of our customers. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back. Green on green for high school football tonight. That never happens. Evergreens are in their road white tops with the green numerals and black pants. Green Bay Preble, green top and bottom with the white numerals and gold trim. Kind of an unusual feature about this field. All of the fans are on the home sideline. Nothing there over on the visitor side. And we have the power lines, the high voltage power lines that are high above the field but actually extend out into play. So that's kind of weird. And, of course, anyone who's part of the faculty or the athletic department here, Green Bay's got a big school referendum coming up. They'll, like, whisper in your ear, vote yes, vote yes. Evergreens are going to receive the ball first. Dylan Neuendijk is down near the near sideline. Flynn Huffman's speed to burn is on the far sideline. And David Torres, who may also be handling some of the quarterbacking duties for the Hornets, is going to put the ball on the tee and kick this off. Again, glad you're here for Zaleski Sports coverage of DC Everest High School football every game all season long. Volleyball and boys soccer bonus coverage this fall. We're going to be busy, and we're going to have lots in our video archive really fast. You miss a game, they're all right there for you to relive all of the fun. Ready for Thursday night football. Ball's on the tee. And let's light this candle. Kick is deep from the goal line. Coming out, Neuendijk goes to the center, waits for his blocking. Didn't get to the 20. You know what? And that ball bobbled, too. He covered it up. Evergreens are going to start at the 18-yard line. I think if you look really close, that as the first contact came, I think that ball was bouncing around. And we've got a late flag that comes in 15, 20 yards behind. This is going to be some kind of sportsmanlike or personal foul situation here. And our officiating crew will huddle up. I mean, from that spot on the field, came in after the play was done. Preble's going to be called for something extracurricular here. And, you know, one of the things, first game of the year, I mean, this is almost cliche, but the team that limits their mistakes, huge advantage. Yep, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hornets. So the Evergreens were going to have lousy field position till we step off the 15 yards and move out to the 33-yard line. Here is Jack Bobinski at the controls. Senior year only comes once. Let's see who can make the most of it. The Evergreens will keep the ball on the ground. Contact at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Vinny Tesh, Jr., first touch, 2nd and 10. You know, while Preble is new to the schedule, the Evergreens scrimmaged against Green Bay Preble for a couple of years, and Preble always had enough big kids that they were tough to run against. I remember that from the scrimmage games. This is a 4-receiver package, twins to either side from the shotgun, keep it on the ground again. You know, that kind of spreads out the formation a little bit. Caden Bangstrom halves the distance to the 39-yard line. Here comes 3rd and 5. And you know, when you take the ball first at the start of this game, you want to be productive on this drive. Sure don't want to start the season with a 3 and out. And this play will tell the tale. Same formation as before. Quarterback from the pistol, 2 up high, 2 down low. Going to pass here, 3-step drop. Good protection to the flat. It's complete and out of bounds. First down, Evergreens. That's the senior Preston Miller. And at 6'4", he's going to be a quarterback's friend out to the 48-yard line. Gain of 9 moves the chains. And a 3rd down conversion for Jack Bobinski. That'll build the old confidence, sure will. Evergreens will look to get into Preble territory on this play. And again, 2 receivers to the far wide side of the field, 2 down low. Now a man in motion, jet sweep. Here comes Flynn Huffman. Again, can Huffman get the corner? Well, he does because he dodged a tackle. Penalty marker is down. Huffman's got 7 yards here. This has the look of a hold and is coming back. And there it is, holding Everest. Now, if you're new to high school football, holding is penalized differently than it is in the college and the pro game. Holding is a spot foul in high school football, and it's a 15-yard penalty. So there's a penalty that happens 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And if you're figuring out right away that holding is a drive killer in high school football, it sure is. The Evergreens will move all the way back to the 36-yard line. They'll replay first down. And it'll be first. And I don't know, I'm eyeballing this, 1st and 22. Again, twins to either side. 1 back next to Bobinski. He'll pass. Quick drop. Play action. Now he'll tuck and run. Bobinski slides down and takes a hit even though he was sliding. No penalty. Bobinski got up and said something to the umpire. Now that's a judgment play for the officials. Is the defender already moving forward and doesn't have the ability to stop his momentum? Bobinski gets 6. And this 2nd down play will also come from behind the chains. Again, the Evergreens keep 4 receivers on the field. 2 up high, 2 down low. Man in motion across the formation. Going to pass again. 3-step drop, good pocket, and now Bobinski steps forward, tucks, runs, absorbs a hit. He's across the 50 and down to the 49-yard line. Yeah, that also kind of cuts the distance in half, but it's still 3rd and long. Evergreens need the 42-yard line. But Bobinski got enough to make this reasonable. I mean, you don't want 3rd and 10 plus here. This is 3rd and 8. So far, you know what? The Everest offensive line has been holding up well when Bobinski's wanted time to throw, so that's an advantage here. Big kids up front, and they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, 3 up high. Bobinski's got protection. He's going to run. He's going to slide. 1st down. You know what? Let's see if they spot him, because the ball is spotted where you start the slide, And the side judge comes in and indicates right away first down. And the Green Bay Preble coach is pointing at the field saying that he thought Babinski started that slide behind the line to make. But no, the ball spotted. That's a gain of 9, needed 8, and the chains move. Evergreens have been controlling the ball for a while now. You see 8.5 to go in the first quarter, so this is a nice long drive to open up the season. 2 running backs behind Babinski. Keep it on the ground here. Yeah, the Everest offensive line is winning the battle here, and that sprang Caden Bangstrom. Bangstrom's got 11 on first down. That's a third first down for the Evergreens on this drive. You want to make a statement to open the game and open the season, stick the ball in the end zone on this drive. Chew up half the quarter, march from your own end. It's the opportunity that's in front of the Evergreens right now. Again, 2 backs. Evergreens will keep this on the ground. Little contact behind the line of scrimmage, and Bangstrom lucky to get back to the line there. No gain. New personnel comes in. Running back Vinny Tesh comes out, and an extra receiver, Clay Horman, is in for the Evergreens here. Keep 2 backs behind Babinski, and there were 2 receivers now to the far wide side of the field from under center. Design rollout. Lefty stops, throws to the flat. Wow, blown coverage there and complete. First down at the 10-yard line. Breaks a tackle to the end zone. Touchdown, Evergreens, Flynn Huffman. Yeah, that's a blown tackle. Huffman should have been down at the 10-yard line, but he kind of sidestepped that defensive back and then made a beeline for the pylon. The Evergreens are in the end zone. It's a 29-yard touchdown throw from Jack Babinski. Now we'll get a look at the Everest kicking game. Jake Stasniak to come on to try the extra point. No, this is Preston Miller. No, Miller will hold. Stasniak's a freshman. No pressure here, Frosch. No problem. Snap is low. Miller gets it down. Kick is good. So no butterflies for the freshman there. The Evergreens take the opening ball, drive down the field, and have a 7-0 lead with 7:14 to play in the first quarter. Back after this break on Zaleski Sports.
Winter's coming fast, which means it's time to hit the trails. Bill's Service Center has all things you need to stay warm and dry on the trails this winter. With a full selection of jackets, bibs, helmets, boots, casual wear. And don't forget that Bill's is your chainsaw safety gear headquarters. Bill's Service Center is your one-stop connection for all your cold weather riding gear.
Don't freeze your jingle bells off. Get your cold weather riding gear at Bill's Service Center. Bill's Service Center, where the adventure begins.
Well, a lot went right on the opening drive for the Evergreens, didn't it? Overcame a holding penalty. Took advantage of a blown tackle. Evergreens quarterback Jack Babinski ran for a couple of times and completed 4 or 5 passes. It's a nice start for the Evergreens. Get to see the defense in a moment, and the defense will be staked to a 7-0 lead. Stasniak's got it on the tee. What a spot for a freshman handling the kicking duties. I mean, freshmen don't even go to DC Everest Senior High School yet. Big vote of confidence to be on the varsity roster for week 1. This kick's a little bit short. Coming up to take it here, that's Ty Jared. Jared tries the far side. He's across the 20 and then bent back at the 25-yard line. Preble will start there. And the quarterback mystery is solved. It's the senior David Torres, who we saw a year ago, will be at the controls to begin for the Hornets. The Evergreens are bigger than Preble, and they've just got more size up front. But Preble's got speed to the outside. If you're on the defense here, want to make sure that you seal the corner. Don't give up the edge. Remember this from a year ago, too. Single receivers to either side, and Torres will start under center. See who wins at the line of scrimmage here. Got a long delay. Somebody moved up front. False start. Preble is penalized before their first snap of the season. We're sponsored by Ag Country Farm Credit Services, a farmer-owned co-op offering a wide array of custom financing and financial services. Loans to leases to crop insurance, tax, and records, they've got you covered. Ag Country in Stevens Point. Contact them to get started. I'm Chris Conley. Glad you have found our Zaleski Sports broadcast of DC Everest High School football. We open this Thursday night, and we play again on the road a week from today. Thursday football at Chippewa Falls. 1st and 15. Torres under center. Play action. Good protection, and now the rush comes. Just got that pass off, picking it right off his shoe tops. That's complete to Ben Watcher. Because that throw was low, Watcher couldn't really turn upfield. Didn't get back all the penalty yardage. 2nd and 12. Preble and Everest both huddle up between every play, and that's not becoming the norm in high school football now. Just like at college and the pros, a lot of teams are calling plays at the line. Neither of these today. Torres under center, singles to either side, handoff goes to the one back. Evergreens win the battle at the line of scrimmage, breaks through the tackle. Wow, first contact was behind the line of scrimmage. Keep those legs churning and moving forward for Flavio Guzman. Guzman gains 4, and here comes 3rd down. I'm not sure, with Everest being bigger on the defensive line, Preble's got to keep themselves out of these 3rd and must-pass situations. See if the Evergreens send an extra rusher or if they're going to drop back into pass coverage. Under center on 3rd down, play action. Here comes the blitz, and they meet at the quarterback. Arlen Sangster, who was a load last year, and he's a senior now. Sangster with the sack along with Wyatt Geyer. Preble goes 3 and out. Evergreens figure to get great field position here. Matt Nielsen to return this punt, and he waits just on the Everest side of the 50-yard line. Evergreens have an extra man on the field. Does Everest want a timeout here? Well, then they had 10. Now we're counting up. And you know what? Green Bay Preble's got a player late coming on. Yeah, this looks like an early season play right here. Who's on punt team and who isn't? Here's the snap. Gets it away. Tumbling kick from the 45. Got a block 50. Penalty marker down. This is coming back on a hold. And the Evergreens swallowed up at the 44-yard line. So the Evergreens have been penalized twice on special teams plays. That also has the look of a week 1 game, does it? Sure does. And I think, the Evergreens were going to have the ball in Preble territory. This is going back to the other side of the 50-yard line. Yeah, it's a block in the back. Kind of saw that. It was while they were setting up the return on the near side. Go back 10 from the spot of the foul. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Each team's had the ball once. Evergreens put together a 71-yard touchdown drive. Preble went 3 and out. And you know, on kind of a humid night, Preble defense goes right back out there. Single receivers to either side. Bobinski gets the snap. He'll hand it off. Contact at the line of scrimmage, lowering his head, diving forward. That's Blake Bangstrom. Bangstrom's a sophomore. Get the feeling the Evergreens would like to probe a little bit as to whether simple power football is enough to get a victory tonight. Bobinski can throw, but you want to throw by choice, not when you have to. And the Evergreens keep it on the ground again, breaking a tackle forward. A little bit shy of the 1st down. That's Caden Bangstrom. Blake and Caden. The junior carried there, the sophomore before. 3rd and 3. got a whistle here. Official calling for a timeout. And now we're ready to go. What that was will remain a beautiful mystery. On third down, the Evergreens hand off, got close to the line and turned back. He didn't make it. Reese Stoll is going to be a yard short. Needed 3, got 2. And the Evergreens, it's early in the game. This is not a key decision, but I agree with this. You're up 7-0, and the Evergreens are going to send the punt team on. Yeah, at this stage in the game, up 7-0, where you've outplayed Preble in the early stages, I don't want to give my opponent the ball at midfield. I'm content to kick away. So the Preble defense gets a 3 and out. That's a victory for them. And the Evergreens designed rollout. They're going to keep this, and he didn't make it. Dylan Neuendank is a yard short. Well, what you don't know is when Ty Strelo was punting last year, Evergreens used a design rollout on every punt, and the punter had the option that if he liked what he saw, he could tuck and run. So maybe it's the punter that made that decision, but the Evergreens have just done what I kind of advised them against. They've turned the ball over right at the 50-yard line, and Preble will start with a short field late in the first quarter. So this is a little bit of a high leverage situation for the Evergreens defense. David Torres, 1st and 10. Keep this ball on the ground between the tackles and bursting forward. Gain of 5 yards from Max Nguyen. Down to the 43-yard line. Really is a perfect night for football. I mean, if you're a player, what you don't want is 90s, because you could have that in August, and what you don't want is too humid. It's comfortable. Here in the Green Bay area, it was in the 80s for most of the day, 78 when we kicked it off. Here's 2nd and 6. Singles to either side for Torres. Got to get under center and get this play off, getting deep in the count. Beats the play clock. Pitch. Got the edge. Wow, that was a good seal block. It's the first time, really, that Preble has won the battle at the line of scrimmage, and it pays off with a nice gain there. Flavio Guzman on his 2nd carry. Guzman's got 14, and for the first time tonight, the Hornets have moved the sticks. So, I mean, what remains to be seen, does the fake punt that came up short cost the Evergreens points? As we go under the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. Fast moving. And for a Thursday night, boy, we're loving that. Singles to either side, Torres pitch. And again, there's that seal. The Evergreens linebackers come up and snuff out the play. That's a good defensive adjustment. Flavio Guzman carries there and gets just a couple of yards. Neuendank came up, made the stop. Torres, the quarterback, just looked over to the sideline like he's not sure of the play here. This is a new formation for Preble. 2 receivers to the near sideline and 1 to the high, wide side of the field on 2nd and 8. Torres to pass. Late pressure coming. Pass is complete. Into the red zone. Jackson Racine. And you know what? Torres, the quarterback, knew that he had some backside pressure. He got just enough time, and he knew from that left side of the line that Everest was coming. Stood tall, delivered a strike. Got his team a first down to the 14-yard line. Under a minute to play in the quarter here. Preble is marching, trailing by a touchdown. Got a whistle. Again, the official is asking for a timeout, and he's looking at one of the Preble linemen like something's wrong with his helmet or his strap. Now we're ready to go. Just like driving in the 4x4. Got to have the equipment, got to be strapped in. On 2nd down, handoff, met at the line of scrimmage. Very short gain. Max Nguyen. Cole Stevens, who's just such a big load on that Everest defensive line, came up and stuffed him. Final play of the quarter? Yes, indeed, final play of the quarter. The Evergreens are up on a touchdown pass to Flynn Huffman. But Green Bay Preble's about to have something to say about that. They're in the shadow of the goal line as the second quarter begins when we come right back. It's DC Everest 7, Green Bay Preble nothing. Second quarter begins after this break on Zaleski Sports.
Edgar Family Restaurant is located just south of Highway 29 in Edgar and open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, drink, dessert, get it all at Edgar Family Restaurant. Homemade food to fill your belly and your soul. Daily specials including Friday fish fry, soup, salad, pies made from scratch, and a full menu of choices are yours at Edgar Family Restaurant. Give back to those who support our community. Give back and visit Edgar Family Restaurant for breakfast tomorrow, then stay for lunch and dinner too. Edgar Family Restaurant is a proud backer of Wildcats football.
At Express Employment Professionals, we place people from all walks of life in all kinds of jobs.
Hi, welcome to Express. Please sign in and have a seat.
Great, thanks. Great, thanks. Great, thanks. Great, thanks.
Welcome back to Everest football on Zaleski Sports. Start of the second quarter, and this Preble drive, which has gotten down to the 14-yard line, is because of a fake punt that failed back at midfield. I'm Chris Conley. The Hornets have put together 2 first downs since then, and the quarter begins at 2nd and 10. Torres, from the first time today, is working from the pistol, and he'll pass. Here comes the pressure to one-on-one coverage. A lot of hand play there. No flag and an incomplete pass. Who's over there for the Evergreens? That Evan Hansen? Sure was. Again, looked like there was some hand fighting while that ball was in the air. Here comes third down. Does Preble try something short or underneath, or do they go to tie this game, trailing 7-zip? Torres will be under center. Single receivers to either side. Evergreens look to send pressure. Yeah, there was movement up front. I think Preble's going back 5 yards. They are. Anyone who coaches or has played this game knows red zone penalties. So this becomes 3rd and 15. This has the feel of 4-down territory. I saw Preble's special teams in pregame. Looks like they've got a new place kicker from a year ago. I'm not sure that you would be thinking field goal here. And anyway, down 7-0. Name of the game is to score touchdowns when you get here. On third down, probably 2 tries to get this first. They can get the first down if they get within the 5-yard line. Design rollout, pressure coming, and the Evergreens bring Torres down. The Preble coaching staff didn't like that Cole Stevens brought the quarterback down to the turf after he had him in the grass. But you know what? Stevens already was bringing the load. So Preble goes backwards on a penalty and then a sack, and they're back to the 39-yard line. 4th down, going for it. So 4th and super long here, and the Evergreens defense is what? They're 1 play away from having that failed fake punt not hurt them. And when Preble's had the ball, what's been the story there? Everest D-line has been holding sway. Preble's going to take a timeout before this 4th down try. Why don't we take a break, too? 7-0 Evergreens, 11:05 to play in the first half. I'm Chris Conley, and you're listening to Everest football on Zaleski Sports.
We apologize to those of you in the stands with the sound system malfunction tonight. We are working on it.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at madeacustom.com.
Timeout's over. The Preble offense took a long time over on the sidelines talking this through. So what do you have in the playbook for 4th and 28? We're about to find out. 2 receivers down low, 1 up high, and the noise is being made by the Everest fans looking for defense. We've got a whistle here, and this is the Evergreens. We're in the neutral zone. I'm not sure that changes the play much here, as we'll move 5 yards closer to the 23-yard line. Evergreens have the 4 defensive backs, and their mission is to keep everything in front of you here. You'll give up the pass underneath. 4th down. Here we go. Good pressure to one-on-one coverage on a jump ball. You know what? The receiver ran into the Everest defensive back, Max Nielsen, threw off the timing on the play, and the Evergreens have held. You know, again, with contact like that, I mean, let's face it, pass interference calls, particularly at the high school level, it's 50-50. I mean, that's the ultimate judgment call in space. You're always worried when you see a play like that. I mean, it's the receiver that clearly initiated the contact, and then the ball sailed over his head. So the Evergreens take over on downs at the 23-yard line. So Preble picks up 2 first downs, but is turned away. It's the Evergreens' 3rd time with the ball. Marched 71 yards for a touchdown first time and then went 3 and out. Bobinski to pass. Good protection, now rolls out. The lefty slings it forward and off the hands and incomplete of his tight end. It's Thomas Pasnow. Pasnow looked like he had the seam there, and I think wanted to turn that ball upfield before he had it secured. 2nd down. That opening drive was impressive. 2nd time the Evergreens had the ball, not so much. See if the offense can get things cranked up here again on 2nd and 10. Back to the ground game. Evergreens did not get the corner. Pearson McDonald, that's the junior's first carry, for no gain. I mean, it's been kind of a weird first half so far that the Evergreens sure look like the better team physically. Sure have a lot of size. The Evergreens have been winning on both sides of the ball at the line of scrimmage, but I mean, here it is 7-0. And unless the Evergreens can convert on 3rd and long, they'll go 3 and out for a 2nd time in a row. Quarterback again steps up, slings that ball sliding. That's caught. No, he didn't hold on to it. Preston Miller looked like he was trying to cradle that to the ground, and then it came loose when contact arrived. It is indeed a 3 and out. So with the offense stuck in neutral for the time being, the Evergreens are going to give the ball right back. I believe that Dylan Neuendank will be instructed to indeed kick the ball away here. Designed rollout punt, and there's his kick. Coming up, catching at the 40-yard line. Moving forward there is Ian Krings, and Krings gets it across midfield, and there's a flag down at the point of the tackle. Face mask. At least that's what looks like the preliminary indication here. No, it'll go the other way. That's the 4th penalty against Green Bay Preble. Back 10 yards to the 40-yard line. You know, Preble had a nice drive going the last time they got the ball. And came apart with a red zone penalty. Preble got down to the 15-yard line before they started moving backwards. Right back on the field and only down by 7. Preble's got to kind of like the spot that they're in here. A lot of time to go until halftime. Handoff and forward for 5 or 6 yards. Omar Rockwell Jr. gets his first carry. That's one of the few times so far today that I thought the Preble offensive line won the battle at scrimmage. That's yardage between the tackles against a much bigger Everest defensive front. 9.5 until intermission. Two receivers near side. One up high for David Torres. Quick drop, pass to the flat, caught, and it's enough for a first down. That ball was kind of thrown towards the far shoulder, so there's no chance to turn upfield for Jack Newman. But it is a completion. Needed 3, got 4, and moves the ball into Everest territory. High school football, the clock stops momentarily while the chains are moved, and then we wind again to under 9 minutes to play until halftime. At halftime, our guest, DC Everest head football coach Tim Strelo. Coach on the couch with Jason Zaleski. It's a fun interview. Hornets have 1st and 10. Evergreens have just jumped into the neutral zone. Who was a little over anxious there? Gavin Dalkey? Yeah. Another opportunity for Preble to open the playbook. And again, what worries you about Preble is they do have outside speed. And they've got one-on-one coverage on either side. That receiver up high left early, and there's no flag. Instead, they keep it on the ground. It's Omar Rockwell for a yard or 2. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, look, a lot of times in high school, the quarterback's just got to run the play that's been sent in to him in the huddle. But they pass on one-on-one coverage on either side. So the Evergreens kind of left their defensive backs on an island there. 2nd and 4. I mean, if Preble has faster receivers, and I think they do, that may be one of the few advantages that they have tonight, at some point in the game, you got to try and take advantage of that. And again, there's going to be press coverage, nobody up high for the Evergreens defensively. And they will try to pass here. Here comes the rush. Throwing to that one-on-one. The receiver's got a step, and he's got it. Yeah, you bet. I saw that. Jack Newman. And you know what? A better throw more towards the inside of the field instead of towards the far shoulder. Newman would have been in the end zone to tie this game. Do the Evergreens want to give some safety help defensively? This is where Preble was on their last drive. They got down to the 15-yard line. Again, it's one-on-one coverage, up high and down low, and it's on the ground. Nothing doing there. The Evergreens come forward, and they trip up Flavio Guzman. That's his 4th carry. Guzman had one where he got 12 yards, and he's been held in check since that. In fact, they don't quite get him back to the line of scrimmage. Lost half a yard or so. Getting close to the midway point of the second quarter. Evergreen scored the touchdown on their opening drive and have yet to pick up a first down since then. 3 receiver package. 2 down low, 1 up high. Going to test the Everest defensive backs here. 3-step drop, throw over the middle. It's complete, bobbling and incomplete. Had it, and then it was wedged out of there. I think the defensive play there came, who's that, 61? 51, that's Dalkey who got a hand in there, incomplete. Receivers can tell you, coming over the middle like that, where you know there's going to be contact, got to be sure-handed and secure the football. Here's 3rd and 11. Everest defense has been solid today. Torres under center with one back behind him. Evergreen's jump, and we're going to move 5 forward, I think. Yep. Second time on this drive that the Evergreens have jumped offside. Again, what you hate about that penalty is that, let's say they don't pick up the yardage they need. It becomes 3rd and 6 after the walk-off. But they'd be going for it on 4th down, and 4th down is just so much easier after you step off the 5 yards. So that's a lousy spot for that mistake. And I get it. I mean, you got to be patient with everybody on the first week of the season. First week games tend to have a lot of penalties. Hopefully you clean that up after you get back on the practice field between weeks 1 and 2. So now it's 3rd and closer. Singles to either side. Fake the pitch. It's a rollout. Some pressure to one-on-one coverage. Receivers open. Preble's answered with a touchdown. That's an 11-yard touchdown reception for Jackson Racine. And we're an extra point away from tying this game. Quarterback will try the extra point. So this is David Torres. Again, I don't think anything in the kicking game is automatic per se tonight. That's a line drive that is good, and it ties us 7-7. Evergreens will get the ball back, but they're going to have some work to do. 6:52 to play until halftime. This is DC Everest football on Zaleski Sports.
First things first with Midstate Technical College. Dual credit programs earn you college credit in high school, then choose a path that suits you. Use your skills to start your career or transfer to a university to continue your degree. Choose a new career. Transition easily and quickly by upgrading your skills. Or continue your education with dozens of classes to get you on your path. No matter your stage of the game, your first move is Midstate Technical College.
There are a couple of high school football teams that are playing Thursday night to open up their seasons. You spin around the Zaleski Sports app. I know that Wisconsin Rapids is in action tonight. Marshfield, too. The other league game is Manitowoc playing at Appleton West. Tomorrow, a couple of more Valley teams will be in action as Wausau West hosts Superior. Hortonville travels to West De Pere. And I'll be down at the Kimberly-Stevens Point game. Who do you like in that one? I understand that Gerke Field has that brand new turf smell. Here it's 7-7. I mean, the Evergreens sure look like the better team, but here we are tied on the scoreboard. Here's a short kick. Evergreen's going to have to come up and get this on the run. Cutting back to the center of the field, this is Dylan Neuendijk. Neuendijk's still going. He's across the 40, still on his feet across midfield. No flags down, so that's a big return. Got that from the 15-yard line. That's 37 yards of kickoff return field position for the Evergreens. And they'll start with a short field. The Evergreens have not had a first down since forever, so let's see if we can get off the schneid. We're brought to you by Fleet Farm. Get ready for fall cleanup at Fleet Farm with all the gear you need, mowers to spreaders to grass seed and fertilizer. Check out supplies for outside jobs like pressure washers, shed, and paint. Everything you need in one stop at Fleet Farm. 1st and 10. Evergreens to the ground game. Handoff. Ball almost popped free and then falling forward for a gain of 6. So far, no turnovers. Caden Bangstrom. Bangstrom is listed at 191 pounds. I mean, later in the game, you want a big back that can kind of grind away and a tired defense. Bangstrom's going to be figuring when you want to run out the clock late. This may be kind of a back-to-basics offensive set for the Evergreens. On second down, design rollout. Looking to one-on-one coverage. Got the receiver. A lot of contact there and no flag. I think that's a break. Miller was looking back for the ball, and at least just to my view, I know, back judge is closer than I am. I got that. But it didn't look to me like the defensive back was playing the ball and looked like he had his hands up and initiated contact. Instead, 3rd and 4. I like the Evergreens taking the shot. They had the one-on-one coverage. Evergreens back to the ground, met at the line, fighting forward, didn't get the first down. Vinny Tesh. Tesh got a yard or two, and the Evergreens still are 2 yards short on 4th down. And the offense is staying on the field until the offense came off the field. Again, Preble got into the red zone twice, scored a touchdown once, and both of them on short field. So the Evergreens are looking to pin the Hornets back at a 7-7 game. And now we've got a whistle. You know what? The Evergreens didn't have the right personnel. I think, yeah, they only had 10 on the field. Right, there's the player coming on who was late. We've seen that with both teams, twice for Everest and once for Preble, that special teams personnel, punt personnel, kickoff and extra point personnel, a lot of guys coming on or coming off late at the end. And, you know, in high school football now, practice is timed. I mean, you only have so much time to work with. But in the old days, before practice would end, coaches would call out for the various plays, the various sets that you would want. Like a coach would call out punt team, and you got to make sure that the right 11 guys come out. Or you call out, extra point, and you got to see that the right 11 guys come out. And I'm sure in practice now, because you only got 2 hours to work with the kids, what are the things that have to go by the wayside? Things like that. And it's shown up in this part of the game here. So the Evergreens have to burn a timeout to make sure they have all 11 on the field. Now they do. Now they're going to kick it away. Ian Krings is back. So in a tie game, Preble is about to get the ball back. Snaps a little bit high. Pulled down, kicked away, and it's a bad kick. Off the side of his foot, out of bounds. That punt went 10 yards. Yeah, the Evergreens have done that designed rollout punt for the last 2 years. It was the ugliest of kicks there. So, I mean, the whole idea of kicking there was that you're going to pin the Hornets back and see if they can actually move the ball on a long field. And instead, they'll start at the 30-yard line. Yeah, officially 12 yards. New quarterback out there for Preble. Is that Max Nguyen in the backfield? No, it's Torres under center. It's Nguyen, the back behind him, who gets the ball here and dives forward 2 yards. You know, if I'm Preble here, 5 minutes to go in the half, I'd like to take a lot of time off the clock. Preble gets the ball to start the third quarter, and I would think the Hornets would be really happy 7-7, or perhaps drive down the field and take a lead. Preble's got to like where they are right here. Quarterback under center. Singles to either side for Torres. Pitch. Trying to get the edge. Didn't really get it. Max Nguyen carries for a second time in a row. Got just a yard or two. Third down. In these third and long so far, what's been the defensive tendency? The Evergreens have sent pressure. See if that's still the thinking here. And when the Evergreens have sent an extra man, a lot of times that pressure's been getting home. Evergreens have 2 sacks, couple of hurries too. 2 receivers up high, 1 down low, and from the pistol on third down. Under 4 minutes to play in the half. Across the middle, bobbled, incomplete, almost intercepted. That came off the hands of Jackson Racine, who has the touchdown reception for the Hornets, and Racine is slow getting up. He took a hit as the ball arrived, and the athletic trainer comes over immediately on 4th down, so the Evergreens defense is going to get a 3 and out. As we see how Jackson Racine is doing. Well, we have an injury stoppage. What do you say we take a break here? We'll come back, and we believe the Hornets will be in punt formation with 3:45 to play until halftime, tied 7-7. Back after these messages, this is Everest football on Zaleski Sports.
If you lose direction, you can grab my hand. I'll be the one behind you to say no one-man band. Just follow your dreams.
We're all different, but we all want great health insurance. See why we're rated #1 in service, coverage, and affordability in Central Wisconsin.
While we were in break, happy to tell you that Jackson Racine was able to get up under his own power. He's on the bench in front of us, and it looks like they're going through the concussion protocol. And the Evergreens, again, Everest had 12 guys on the field and has to burn another timeout. Evergreens will have only 1 timeout left. They're going to get the ball back with 3:45 left. Tied 7-7. That first drive of the evening looked fabulous. Evergreens marched the ball 71 yards down the field. Jack Babinski threw himself a touchdown pass to Flynn Huffman. All looked well. The Evergreens went 3 and out on their next 2 possessions and picked up 1 first down and then had to punt after that. So a great start, stuck in neutral since then. We're brought to you by Stone Innovations of Plover, here to serve you. Stone Innovations specializes in the fabrication, design, and installation of stone countertops. Stone Innovations operates with the most advanced fabrication equipment in the industry. Begin your order online at Stone Innovations, one word, stoneinnovations.net. I'm Chris Conley. Glad to be behind the mic as these Everest broadcasts transition to Zaleski Sports. We'll be back here next Thursday on the road against Chi-High. See if Preble is indeed going to punt this away, and they will. Short kick. Yeah, get away from this. It bounces, takes a Hornet roll, and goes to the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3:35 to play until intermission, and the Evergreens get the ball back in this tie game. We have a couple of game day sponsors to thank. Era Pancakes, Merrill Iron and Steel. Glad you're supporting our high school broadcasts. And Whitetail Properties. Please, as you hear all of our sponsors and see our commercials during the broadcast, support those who are supporting your high school kids. No sponsors, no games. We're glad for everyone who's backing the Everest football team here. 1st and 10 from the 39. Jack Babinski is under center, designed rollout. Under pressure, slings it, just got it over the linebacker, and it's complete to Flynn Huffman down the sideline, and he's inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. You know, one of the things that a quarterback has to determine, do you need the zip or do you need the touch? And Babinski read that right. Flynn Huffman, who's already got a touchdown reception, moves the ball down to the 23. Evergreens have all the time in the world to work with before halftime, which means the ground game is still very much in play with singles to either side from the pistol. Babinski to throw again. Looks to the one-on-one coverage. That's tipped, and it's intercepted. There's the first turnover of the afternoon. Someone at the line of scrimmage got a mid on that. Ben Wuckler had it come down in his arms. So in the closing moments of the first half, both offenses get a chance to possess the ball in a tie game. The Hornets have 2 timeouts to work with. 80 yards of real estate in front of them. And here's David Torres. Let's see if Racine Jackson is back out there on the field. I believe he is. I think he's that receiver way up high. So Racine Jackson injured on the last possession. Back onto the field here on first down. Good protection over the middle. Almost intercepted. Threw that behind. Quinton Ramsey looked around like he was pushed. I thought the coverage was all right, and the pass led him a little too far. And that is indeed Jackson Racine back on the field. 2nd and 10. You know, sometimes when these teams get into pass mode and they throw a lot of incompletions, it seems like it can take a long time to get down to all zeros. This later stage of the second quarter, taking our time. And if Preble's going to stay in pass mode, I mean, who knows? The Evergreens could even get the ball back. Preble is taking a timeout. You know, the back judge was beginning his 5 count that this play took a long time to get in, and it's in danger of getting called for delay of game. So now each team will have 1 timeout remaining. Evergreens open with 2 games on the road this year. First home game will be Labor Day weekend. It'll be the first Friday night game of the season. That'll be week 3 when we return to Steam Stadium. The opponent will be Appleton West. Again, all of the Everest games. You know, again, it's a transition. We're moving from radio to the video feed of Zaleski Sports. I mean, tell your friends and family. You got grandmothers, older people, maybe not as savvy online. Show them it's easy. Download the app, sign up, become a VIP, see all the games. You can do it. After the timeout, it's 2nd and 10. Quarterback's under center. Play action. Pressure from the backside. Quarterback absorbed a big hit, and it affected the throw. That was underthrown because there was backside pressure that leveled David Torres. Torres pops right up. I mean, not a sack, but the boom was lowered from the blind side. 3rd and 10. Again, Preble's taken just a few seconds off the clock, and the Everest offense could get the ball back before intermission. Singles to either side. Evergreens put 2 safeties up high, and they're going to pitch and keep this on the ground. Backside pursuit, hit, and the Evergreens are going to get the ball back. Flavio Guzman on his 6th carry gets 5 yards. It's 4th down. Under 3 minutes, but the Evergreens are going to get the football back with the game still tied 7-7. Evergreens with a touchdown on their first drive of the game. A second quarter touchdown pass from David Torres answered. And waiting to receive this punt is Dylan Neuendank. And here's a delay of game. Yeah, they took the clock all the way down. And we'll go back 5 yards to kick it. So the clock stops at 2:35. Again, I'm thinking kind of a short field. The Evergreens should probably get the ball around the 50-yard line. 2.5 is some time to work with. Not a delay of game. It's another one of those special team personnel penalties. Referee just indicated they had too many men on the field. Yeah, that was 12 instead of 11. And there's the punt. Straight up in the air, and it's short. It bounces at the 40, and the Evergreens will start at the 44-yard line. Matt Nielsen was close to it for the Evergreens, and you'd rather that he stay away from it, right? You don't want that ball hitting someone by accident and turning it over. Both teams' punt game, not so good. That's a 23-yard kick. Tied 7-7. The Evergreens sure would feel better about things if they can get on top of this Hornet team before halftime. Bobinski to the flat, complete. Dancing out there, and now moving forward, Flynn Huffman slips a tackle. Huffman puts his speed and his moves on display, and he's down to the 29-yard line. Gains 17. Clock stops for a moment while the chains move. Now winds at 2:15 and counting. Two receivers near side, one up high. Evergreens will keep this on the ground. Going forward here is Bangstrom. Again, the defense gets spread out when you have the extra receiver there, and Bangstrom's got 7 yards. Just outside the red zone. Yeah, they spot him a little bit further back. This will be gain of 6 and 2nd and 4. Under 2 minutes to play. Again, at this spot on the field, clock's not a factor here. Twins to either side for Bobinski. Lefty gets the snap. Good protection. Now rolls out, and now we'll get out of bounds. He'll stop the clock. Bobinski's going to get only 1 yard there. Actually, you know what? He lost a yard. The important thing on that play is you don't want to be inbounds and have the clock running. So it's 3rd down. You live to fight again. Evergreens will need the 19-yard line. 91 ticks until halftime. Two receivers bunched up high and two receivers down to the near sideline. The Evergreens keep this on the ground. They like to spread it out there. Caden Bangstrom. Now the quarterback's keeping it, and wow, there's a face mask. Grab that face mask, and there's no flag. Bobinski is pleading his case, and he's out of bounds. Got only a yard or two. 4th down is coming up. Yeah, I thought that that lineman was in Bobinski's, and you know what? He's kind of shaking his head as he's going back to the huddle. Evergreens are going for it on 4th and 3 and stayed inbound, so under a minute to go until halftime. Bobinski's okay. Need the 19-yard line here. 3 yards to make from the pistol. Looking to pass over the middle, and it's intercepted. Second Everest turnover. And Preble will get the ball back at the 43-yard line. That's Carson Malkmus. So the Evergreens on 4th down just outside the red zone, and Bobinski throws a second interception. Preble, 1 timeout and 36 seconds to work with. So, to state the obvious, this game will be decided in the second half. And at least for the first 2 quarters of this young season, the Everest defense is far ahead of the Everest offense. I think that's a fair way to sum up what we've seen in this first half. Preble is going to play action, pass, sack. Big hit. Arlen Sangster meets David Torres, and did that ball come loose? And the Evergreens have it. Boy, the big hit jars the ball free, and with 30 seconds left, the teams trade turnovers. The Bobinski interception, and then 1 play later, Arlen Sangster, that was the hit of the night. Sangster with a bruising hit. Torres drops the ball, and the Evergreens get it back. 30 seconds. Which one of these teams can get out of their way? 3 receivers to the near side. Now a man in motion across this formation. Bobinski going to let him throw again. Steps up, going to run. Going to tuck this, got to get out of bounds, though. He's across the 30, dives forward and out of bounds at the 25. He got 11 and stops the clock. The play took 9 seconds. Evergreens get closer to the envelope. And, I mean, Bobinski's got plenty of arm. He can take shots at the end zone here from the 23-yard line where they spot the ball. And 1 timeout, too. The 1 timeout's important because the middle of the field remains in play as long as you can stop the clock. So you don't have to throw everything to the sideline here. Twins to either side, and Bobinski will load up from the pistol. 3-step drop. Good pressure. Steps up. He'll run again. Stays in the middle of the field. Now gets out of bounds. He's inside the 15. 14 seconds left. I think he'll be marked just short of the first down. Nope, going to move the chains too. Quarterback did get out of bounds, so the clock stays stopped. And there are still a couple of plays left in this first half of football as the Evergreens try and break the tie. Trips to the near side. One single receiver up high. That's Clay Holman there, and it's Preble that wants the timeout. This makes sense because that trips formation down low, it's the first time that the Preble defense has seen that. So 7-7, and the Hornets sure want to get to halftime tied here, so you take that timeout and make sure that you've got the defensive alignment that you want. That makes sense. Got it. Again, for the Evergreens, I mean, a little bit of a frustrating first half. Everest defense, solid. Everest offense, spotty, a little up, a little down. Thursday night football. Again, we've got a game, we've got a Rapids game, got a Marshfield game too. So our Zaleski sports crews are busy on this Thursday night. Everest football coach Tim Strelo, our guest at halftime. 1st and 10. Bangstrom's in the backfield. Bobinski, same formation, trips down low. He's looking to the one receiver the other side. Now he steps up, throws, and is hit. That's an incomplete pass. 7 seconds left. Probably time for one more play, and then the Evergreens will decide if they want to try a medium-distance field goal. And again, just looking at the time that's left here, 7 seconds, you want a play that develops quickly. Yeah, something quick to the post. Two up high, two down low. Bobinski, quick drop, looks to the end zone, got the one-on-one coverage, jump ball, it's caught, out of bounds. Waiting for an indication, no, it's caught inbounds on the far side. Touchdown, Evergreens, on the final play of the first half. Well, I mean, that's our furthest look at the field, and the official is right there. Took his time to make sure the catch had been secured and then indicated touchdown, Everest. Boy, that's a big play because, like I've said, I think the Evergreens have played better than Preble, and you'd like the scoreboard to reflect that as you go into the locker room, and it looks like that's indeed going to be the case. A 14-yard touchdown pass. Jake Stastniak on to try the extra point. Snaps a little high to the uprights is good. First half of the young season in the books. DC Everest 14, Green Bay Preble 7. Hornets get the ball to start the third quarter. DC Everest head coach Tim Strelo, our halftime guest, speaking with Jason Zaleski. 14-7. And we'll be back after this break on Zaleski Sports.
And bring that up here, but just beginning to tell the folks about we're very excited to be involved with your school, with your football program, and also with boys soccer, volleyball, and all kinds of other stuff just coming up this fall. I saw the tennis kids out here practicing cross country. It looked like they were running around. Things kind of in full swing. but we'll go just to your football program. I won't ask you any questions about cross country if that's okay. But yeah, so day 2 of week 2 today, second day with the pads on. Just kind of catch us up on how practice has been so far here now into the second week of practice.
Yep. Well, first of all, thank you for doing this, and thank you for bringing this to the Everest community and making our athletic programs a priority. This is a huge piece for us, and we thank you guys for doing this. As far as football goes, we're having first week was a great week for us. Just getting the kids on the same page, getting them back into the locker rooms for us. We haven't had a locker room in 2 years. So little things of getting back into the locker room and getting organized in there and then going through the protocol as far as concussion protocol with helmets and all that. And now we're 2 days into full pads. We're still learning how to carry the pads. We're still learning how to do, the little things correctly and making sure we're in correct position to be able to block and tackle. So it's been a process, and we're going to keep going through that through the scrimmage and getting into week 1.
Talk about last year just a little bit, and then we'll begin to preview this year's team. I was over in Marshfield yesterday, asked the same question of Coach Gadel, so I'm going to ask you, and I told him, and I'll tell you, I mean it sincerely, because I think there is an answer in the affirmative in there somewhere. But last year in conference, 3-3, but middle of the pack offensively, middle of the pack defensively, middle of the pack in the standings. Is middle of the pack statistically? Can that equal a better outcome in the standings?
I think so. I think it depends where you look at statistics. Being able to, when we break down years and things like that with our coaching staff, we look at our, running game in general and how well we're playing defense. Can we get our defense off the field a little bit quicker? Where does our rushing stats end up at the end of the year? We look at that quite a bit. I'm an NDSU guy, so I played football for those guys. I was out there, and they have a rule that if you're rushing the football around 50 times per game, usually they're winning the football game. They're winning the line of scrimmage probably if that's happening. And so if you start looking at those rush numbers, those can start to tell the difference a little bit. 2 years ago, we were in that range of controlling the ball and playing really good defense. Last year, we fell down just a little bit, and you could kind of tell that our record then started to change too.
Let's make sure you give some handshakes here to these guys. We'll let that happen. Come on in, guys.
See ya. Have a good one.
Seniors. Seniors always a big part of any program. So maybe just give one or maybe two memories of some of those guys from last year. Maybe just give them one last look here, one last mention from last year.
Yep, yeah. So last year's team, obviously, we got to fill holes with. We had Brock Babish, who was a running back for us. Ty, my son, who was playing pretty much a lot of positions, and we got to fill some of those holes. But some of the line positions, we got to fill those things. But it was a really good group to work with last year. I feel like when you look at their record, I felt like it could have been different in a couple different spots. We lose to the Chippewa game by 1 point. I still have memories of that where the ball sails over the hands of the receiver just by about an inch for us to win that game. You look at the WIAA West game where we played really well in that game also. That game could have went either way. A few bad breaks for us. Spash was a very playable game for us. So, we came down to last year just a few plays that make a difference. And I talked a lot this year about, we have to be ready for that. You just never know when those plays are going to be coming up, and are we going to be ready for them?
Talk about this year's schedule. Actually, I'll read through it. Every game this year would be broadcast live on Zaleski Sports, home and away. Number one mission, though, is always to get down to the stadium and cheer these guys on. We're there as your plan B. Chris Conley will be calling your game. So Everest fans, we keep it as familiar as we can for you. And I know Chris has treated you guys very well over the years. We're happy to have him. Forget about everything else. I'm pretty ecstatic about it.
Absolutely.
So start the year next week on Thursday. So we get a day earlier start at Green Bay Preble. And then at Chippewa. So you get another shot at those guys, back-to-back Thursday games to start, back-to-back road games to start. Home against Appleton West, at Marshfield, home to Stevens Point, home to Wisconsin Rapids, at Hortonville, at East. And then you finish the year at WIAA West, and it looks like I'm sorry, I said East. It looks like Mike's been in there doing his job. You got Milwaukee Academy of Sciences. The East guys are going to go 8-player again this year. 2 road games to start. I mean, how important are those games? They're non-conference games, but you got the supercomputer out there deciding seeds now, and they don't care where you were and what, the size school or what they were ranked. It's all about wins and losses. How important is it, especially with those road games, to go out and make a stamp on the season right away?
Yeah, exactly. From last year, we learned that. We beat Preble at home, and then we lost to Chippewa. So, these 2 games are big, important for us for momentum and getting into the season and starting the season out right. You definitely don't want to take losses on these two games. So we want to get out there. We want to establish things immediately and get us going in the right direction. I believe it gets the flow of the season going and things. So we want to make sure we get out there and we take care of business. Really taking care of ourselves. If we can control, play really good defense and run the football, we're going to have a pretty good chance, we feel.
You got scrimmage coming up on Friday. You get to have it just a few hundred yards to our west.
Yeah.
So that's got to be somewhat comforting in that way. You've got Stratford coming over. I don't remember all the schools, but
Fondy,
yep, Fondy. What are you trying? We're 2 days in now. You got 2 practices left, and then the scrimmage. What do the next 2 days of practice look like in order to get ready for that scrimmage? Or is that something that you put a focus on practice this week to get ready for that scrimmage?
Yeah, definitely. We're starting to practice today a little bit. We started going against more of the scrimmage teams and the defenses that we're going to see a little bit more because our offense takes a little bit more time to plan. I know Coach Kleinschmidt's, we're still repping through a lot of the conference teams. We still go through a lot of those teams early on and just try to practice some of their plays and whatever else. But I think it's, fine-tuning just a little bit. We want to keep teaching fundamentals, and we want to keep teaching proper form and tackle form and head position and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, we got to start adding in a little scheme now, too.
Let's now go all the way back to the beginning. Just remind us how many years you've been coaching. And I'll let you go through that math here a little bit, and then now you're back again this year. So tell us how many years and what in the world keeps you coming back every year.
Yeah. So I came back to Everest in 2000. Played out at North Dakota State before that, and then I was an Everest grad. Played my football under Coach Steffenhagen. Then I went out to North Dakota State from 95 to 99. Had a great career out there and had a great chance to be All-American, all that little stuff, and had a chance in the NFL and things like that. When that all fell through, I got a teaching job here in 2000 to teach physical education. Actually, I was at risk teacher first for 1 year, and then been in that teaching physical education since about 2001. This is my 22nd year. That was my 23rd year of teaching. Been coaching ever since. Was the head track coach for 15 years and been the head football coach. I believe this is my 6th year now.
So you might know a little bit about what you're doing here, right?
A little bit. I like to think so.
So again, Jason Zaleski here, Coach Tim Strelo. So I'm a Marshfield graduate in 1993. We got our butts beat pretty bad both times, both of my varsity seasons. I was told to dislike the Greens, right? That was what I was taught. I've come to find out, guys, these are pretty good people around here. Nothing wrong with that. And then a pretty good dude right here. Birthday today. So guys saying you happy birthday out there. What's that like? And having a football practice, birthday, probably every year, right?
Oh, yeah.
But what's that like, having the team kind of rally behind you and everybody? It's a family around here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you look all the way back from high school, about you're always having your birthday on football, and even in college, I always remember that too. And guys coming up to you and hey, happy birthday, all that sort of stuff. I love it. My birthday is always in football, and it's all just a big part of what I do. And honestly, my wife knows this. You look at football. Football is my life. It's all year round. It's never really not football season for me. Even when you're coaching track or whatever you're doing, it's always football. So, my birthday comes around in August. It's warm. It's you can always count on that, and it's always football season.
Yeah, absolutely. I get mine just at the front end of it. July 25th is mine. So mine is in the past now. So like you, I'm a year older and probably a year wiser. That's what they try to tell us anyway. Let's kind of wrap up here. What should folks look forward to? Evergreens football, and what should they look forward to this year? And then I'll let you kind of give a little speech on kind of rallying the troops and getting them down to the stadium to watch you and the boys perform this year.
Yeah. Our team, we just want to be good people, and that's the biggest thing. It's really way beyond football. I try to talk to these guys and give them some sort of a message every day beyond football, just about being a good person and a great teammate, and how we can bring the team together. Everything in the world today is all really about themselves. We want to try to focus in on being a great team. And what does that look like to be a great team? And how do you get guys to want to be a part of a team, something that's greater than themselves? So I think I try to teach a lot of that stuff all the time, hopefully do a good job. Our coaches like to do the leadership stuff, and we're trying to get that stuff incorporated into football and taking the pressure off from just winning and losing. It's more about just being a good person and what are the life lessons we can teach. As far as getting people in the stands, number one, the community around here is just awesome, and that's a big credit to Coach Steph way back in the past, and Coach Coonan continued that tradition that we play good football around here, and I just hope that we can continue that and want to be that show on Friday night that people can come out to and listen to great music, but also have a great football game going on, and get the dance team down there and get our band going, and just make it be the place that everybody has to be on Friday nights. And I think it's a fun atmosphere, and hopefully we can play some really good football along the way.
Good. We're going to try to get the folks juiced up even more. We got you on Hard Knocks this year, so we're looking forward to that. Coach has been getting acclimated to some cameras and microphones and all that kind of thing. First episode for that is August 21st, so we'll see if we can get the guys, folks around here, a little more juiced up than normal, get them to come out and watch you and the team perform. Best of luck. We are so happy to be here, and best of luck in 2022, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
There you go. All right. Coach Tim Strela will dismiss him from this duty here, and I'll begin to wrap up today's show. But before I do, let's go say hi to our sponsor, Security Health Plan, and we'll be back right after this. This is Zaleski Sports on location.
If you lose direction, you can grab my hand. I'll be the one behind you to say no. One man band. Just follow your dreams and keep your promises.
We're all different, but we all want great health insurance. See why we're rated #1 in service, coverage, and affordability in Central Wisconsin.
This time, DC Everest leads Green Bay Preble 14-7, and the other Wings took that lead on the final play of the first half. 14-yard touchdown pass from Jack Babinski to Preston Miller, all the way in the far end zone corner at the sideline, and we waited for the moment, inbounds or out of bounds, and really inbounds, a good catch, and the other Wings took advantage of a Preble turnover to score late in the second quarter. Tell you what, the heat of the first half was Arlen Sangster's sack on David Torres. Forced the ball free back at the 41-yard line. The other Wings made the most of the 39 seconds that were left in the half. And then the other Wings stick the ball in the end zone. I think that's important, because the other Wings, they are the better team. And certainly the Everest defense has been the best unit that we've seen on the field. And they want that reflected on the scoreboard. And now it is 14-7. I'll tell you this, too. The first drive of this second half, I think, is going to be defining in this game. Preble has hung around against a pretty good Everest team. Preble's going to get the ball to start the third quarter. I mean, if the Evergreens come up with a 3-and-out, tell me that doesn't change the momentum, doesn't change the feel of the rest of the night. And then yet if Preble is able to march down the field and stick the ball in the end zone, we're tied again. It seems like the Evergreens will be in a dogfight the rest of the way. I mean, watch what happens on this first drive. I think that's going to tell the tale on how the rest of this night goes forward. We see that we have a lot of Everest fans who have found their way over to the Zaleski Sports coverage, and we're glad to have you. Again, I mean, if you see your other Everest friends or family members around town and you're wondering where are the football games, Zaleski Sports has coverage of every play of the DC Everest football season right now through the end of October, and the playoffs too, as far as we go. So we have Thursday night coverage today, and then next Thursday on the road at Chippewa Falls. Labor Day weekend will start with Friday night football. It's the home opener at Steam Stadium against the Terrors of Appleton West. My name's Chris Conley. 12 years of describing the Evergreen successes on the field, and glad that it continues with our friends here at Zaleski Sports. Let's recap our first half score. Evergreen started the day off right for sure. 71-yard touchdown drive on the opening possession.
29-yard touchdown pass from Jack Babinski to Flynn Huffman. Huffman made the catch at the 10-yard line, then kind of danced and wiggled his way down that far sideline to get to the pylon. 7-0 Evergreens. Green Bay Preble got down to the 15-yard line on the next possession. Then they jumped off sides, had to go back 5 yards, and the Evergreens got a sack, and Preble wound up turning the ball over on downs. The Evergreens would go 3 and out on their next 2 possessions, and the third possession after that picked up only 1 first down before they had to punt. Preble was able to get into the red zone again. They scored on an 11-yard touchdown pass from their quarterback, David Torres, to Racine Jackson. Game stayed tied 7-7. Teams traded turnovers with under 2 minutes left in the half. The aforementioned Arlen Sangster hit that caused the fumble gave the Evergreens the ball back, and 4 plays later, Babinski to Preston Miller to make it 14-7, which is where we stand now. We were entertained here in Green Bay by the Preble dance team, put on a great show. And I love when the high school band directors are at least able to put together a prep band to get us going at halftime and to handle some of the pregame. And indeed, we have some of the Preble student musicians. I know when we get our home game to start off Labor Day weekend, I know we'll have some of the DC Everest band in attendance too. Again, all of Everest Sports moves over to the Zaleski platform, which will include volleyball coverage. I think we're scheduled for 5 or 6 volleyball games, so that's great. I mean, volleyball is going to get coverage that they just haven't had before. And back in the radio days, I used to do some podcasts for DC Everest boys soccer, and now we'll have the video and have the full production. I'm scheduled to do 6 of the soccer games over at the DC Everest Soccer Complex up at the middle school. So looking forward to that too. So that's going to be a full and fun fall of sports. Evergreens here, I mean, you just feel really satisfied about the way the defense has been. The offense, well, they've turned the ball over twice. Babinski's thrown 2 interceptions. I get the feeling when the offense, they can be more careful with the ball, kind of get out of their own way, that the offense will be fine. I think the trends sure do favor the Evergreens for the second half. But again, there's more football to be played, and that's going to tell the tale over the next hour or so. And as for Preble, again, I don't think they have the size of the Evergreens, but they do have some outside speed, and Preble has hung tough against what for them is a pretty tough season-opening opponent. We kind of said this last year and the season before that. Just to my eyes, the teams in the Green Bay and in the Fox Valley area, it's a higher level of football than what we've seen in the Valley Football Association over the last couple of years. Again, that's a generalization. Last year, Wausau West was great. Colton Gurink was the best running back we've seen come down the pike for a while. Spash is always tough. But you look at most of the conferences top to bottom, and there's better football being played in the northeastern part of the state than there is in central Wisconsin. So, Preble last year settles for a 2-7 record, but they're playing against a really high level of competition. Evergreens last year, 5-5. You ready for the second half? Good. I am too. Preble to get the ball. Jake Stasniak, the freshman, to kick off, who's 2 for 2 in his extra points. Didn't have to kick off after the last touchdown. It brought us down to all zeros. Third quarter about to get underway. The Evergreens 7 points to the good. Whistle sounds. Here we go. So both of Stasniak's kickoffs have been short. This one's bobbled, it's kicked and covered up. 20-yard line will be the starting point for Preble. Boy, sure can't have a turnover there. Evergreens have turned the ball over twice. Neither of them cost them points. Preble turned the ball over once, and it led to that touchdown at the end of the first half. Again, David Torres, the last time he touched the ball, absorbed a big hit and coughed up the Duke. Torres right back out there again. Linemen are already at the line of scrimmage, and they're calling this play with just the skill position players in the huddle. Singles to either side, 1st and 10. Sun's down, lights on here at Green Bay Preble. Start with a handoff. Again, the Evergreens got backside pursuit and won at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Flavio Guzman just got his 8th carry. Again, the Evergreens have on the ground. Evergreens' defense has been rock solid. Preble's got less than 50 yards rushing. The speedy receiver down low is Jackson Racine. Now one-on-one coverage if they want it against him. Now the Evergreens drop 2 safeties a little further back. On 2nd down, handoff, met at the line of scrimmage and thrown backwards. Boy, the Evergreens tightening things up between the tackles. I think that was Carson Davchik. Came up and made the stop. Miles Paulson was down at the bottom, too. Again, I mean, the Evergreens just have some big beef up front. Paulson's at 255. Arlen Sangster had that big hit towards the closing moments. Cole Stevens, 280. 3rd and 11. Boy, a 3 and out is just what the Evergreens defense would love to dial up here. Send pressure. Yes, they do. It's picked up out to the flat and 6 or 7 yards short. So the Evergreens willingly give up something underneath, and the Evergreens get the defense off the field immediately. You know, as we start the fall, I mean, this was an announcement that came back in the spring of the last school year. Mike Matthews, our new DC Everest athletic director. I mean, to me, he's Coach Matthews. Led the Everest softball program. Yeah, Matthews and Fast Pitch, they go together. Athletic director now. And a job that you get the feeling that Mike's been waiting for a while. The right guy in the right spot now. And, I mean, he's an Evergreen. Here's the punt. Tumbling, short, takes a Preble roll, and will go down to the 40-yard line. 35-yard kick. And that ball was in the air maybe for half that. Well, in a game where no one's been up by more than 1 score, here's a chance for the Evergreens offense. Again, you have halftime to make the adjustments. The last throw that Jack Bobinski hurled was a 14-yard touchdown pass. You know what? I don't think it's Bobinski at the controls here. I think Reese Stowell. Is it going to be Reese? No, that's Bobinski. And he'll be under center. See if the Evergreens can go up by 2 scores, put their stamp on this game. Well, nothing doing there. Caden Bangstrom met right at the line of scrimmage. Again, I mean, just look at our video feed. The defensive front for Preble is just simply not as big as the Everest offensive line. But the smaller kids won out there. And you know what? Size is important in football, but it's not everything. Technique is the other half of the battle. This looks like a misdirection play. Handoff here. That's the Evergreens' best running play in a while. Caden Bangstrom forward for 12 and moves the chains. So Bangstrom stopped the first time. Again, the Evergreens use misdirection in the backfield and move the chains and go into Preble territory. First drive of the ball game back in the first quarter was a long, time-consuming drive, and the Evergreens would love to follow that model here in quarter number 3. Up by 7, looking for more. Two backs behind Babinski, and again, why not go with what's working? The Evergreens win it up the middle again for Caden Bangstrom. Bangstrom's been the featured back. He's carried 3 times in a row. He's got 13 yards there and another first down. So 0, 12, and 13 on this drive for Bangstrom. And again, this comes after the Everest defense got a 3 and out. Singles to either side and two backs behind Babinski. Yeah, the Evergreens decide, let's try and power this football forward. Shorter gain there, about 3, down to the 35. Spot him forward to the 34. Football is brought to you by Ag Country Farm Credit Services, a farmer-owned co-op with a wide array of custom financing and financial services. Loans, leases, crop insurance, tax, and records, they have you covered. Ag Country in Stevens Point. Contact them to get started. Evergreens exclusively on the ground on this drive. Second effort for Caden Bangstrom, and lunges close to the first down marker. He'll be a little bit short. Nope, got enough. Move the chains. Back-to-back first downs. You bet the Evergreens have this in mind for a statement drive. We think our offensive line is better than you. We think our backs are better than you, and we're going to run the ball down your throat. That's what the Evergreens have been doing so far here. Play action again, and it's Bangstrom again. Gets the block, splits the seam, and just a shoelace tackle away from getting it into the end zone. He's down to the 11-yard line. Got 17 there. Caden Bangstrom taking over on this drive. To the red zone. Again, two backs, and Bangstrom stays in there. He's been the workhorse. You bet. Feed the hungry kid. Gets inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. The Evergreens have called the number 2 of Bangstrom on every play this drive. Taking time off the clock. We're going to get down to the middle stages of the third quarter, and the Evergreens are looking to go up by 2 scores. Bangstrom still in there. Well, someone else has got to touch the ball. Getting down to the goal line, and close is Vinny Tesh. Is he in? Yes, he is! 10 plays, all on the ground, a 60-yard drive, and the Evergreens are indeed up by 2. Vinny Tesh. Indeed, a statement drive there. Snap is high for the extra point. Kick to the uprights. Good. 21-7. The defense gets a 3 and out, and the offense holds up its half of the bargain too. Our new score, 21-7, back after these messages on Zaleski Sports.
Stone Innovations, home of Wisconsin's largest granite and quartz selection, is now featuring the best stones shopping experience in the state. Our brand new indoor facility allows for a home-like, comfortable atmosphere. Choose from hand-picked stone from around the world and select the perfect look for your dream kitchen in the best lighting possible. Then sit down with our free design services to customize the look of your kitchen. Our projects come with a lifetime warranty. Stone Innovations, Wisconsin's granite and quartz leader. Appleton, Rhinelander, Clover, Madison.
The Evergreens could not have written a more perfect script. 3 and out, and then an all-on-the-ground power football touchdown drive for a 21-7 lead. And really, for the first time in the entire game, there's pressure now on Green Bay Preble. Preble's got to do something when they get the football back here. Kickoff is short, taken here by Logan Sigmund. Got a little room on the sideline there across the 25. At the 27-yard line, 1st and 10, Preble. Somebody injured on the far sideline? Yeah. Athletic trainer's going to come all the way across. And that's a long look across to the far sideline for us. Can't tell you who that is. Right in front of the Everest bench. And let's see, while that player is being tended to, we'll step out for a break. 21-7 DC Everest over Green Bay Preble. Actually, players up? Yeah, we'll keep it right here.
Number 27, Ty Gerard, the injured player. Put your hands together.
Ty Gerard is one of the backup quarterbacks, and he handled the kickoff return there, and he's only a sophomore. Boy, I mean, when you're playing, large school, high school football, some of the sophomores, they're just undersized. Got to absorb some big hits, and that was the case for Ty Gerard along the far sideline. David Torres back at quarterback. Boy, Preble can't afford to put their defense right out there. The offense has got to at least stay on the field a little bit here. Handoff behind the line of scrimmage. Everest defense holding sway. Carson Dabchek, who's had a nice game. At the Evergreens, a lot of the big kids, defensive linemen, linebackers, that's a senior-laden core. That's an experienced group. I mean, Preble's run 4 plays so far since halftime, has no first downs, and in the second half has a total of 4 yards of offense. Need more than that. 2 receivers to the near side, going to pass here. Pressure over the middle, caught, and just nothing there. Tight coverage for Jackson Racine. Racine gains only 3 yards. Give him forward progress to make it 3rd and 6. If Preble doesn't pick up this first down, they put a tired defense back on the field, and the Evergreens will run the ball down their throats again. I mean, this play, the need to pick up this first down, this is an important moment for Green Bay Preble if they want to stay in this game. I mean, it's only 21-7, but the score could very well change on the next Everest drive if Preble doesn't keep the offense going here. They need this first down. And we've got a whistle. This is a delay of game. Yes, it is. So, I mean, Preble, sensing that the moment was important, took too much time to get the play off. So this 3rd down will start from behind the chains. One receiver up high, 2 down low in what now becomes an obvious passing situation. Evergreens drop 4 back defensively. And the Evergreens send pressure, flung over the middle, tipped, almost intercepted, bobbled, and falls harmlessly to the ground. And the quarterback is hurt. Big hit while backpedaling against David Torres, and Torres is doubled over in pain. He's 15, 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So not only are they going to have to punt here, boy, there's a lot that happened on that play because Torres is the Preble punter. So a second-string punter may be here to kick this ball away, and that dangerous pass over the middle was bobbled around, almost intercepted. For a moment it was loose, almost came down to a Preble receiver. And then the final hit had the ball landing on the turf. For now, the concerns about Torres. And slowly, he's up. Great to see. Again, the Everest defense in pass rush situations, they've been getting home a lot. And, humid night, first game of the season. Neither team is probably fully conditioned the way they'd like to, that the smaller team could be wearing down and breaking down as we get into the later stages of the evening. 4:29 to play 3rd quarter. Preble may be discussing here who's going to punt. And you know what? If Preble hasn't used a timeout, the team should be out on the field here. I don't know why they get to huddle up there after that injury stoppage. And indeed, it's going to be someone else who will punt the ball away. David Torres absorbing the big hit. Omar Rockwell to kick this away. And it's almost blocked. Yeah, someone got a hand on that. That ball is loose, and the Evergreens will have it at the 40-yard line. It's a kick that went forward only 11 yards. Yeah, that's a tough spot. That's the backup punter who's normally not doing that role, and the Evergreens got good pressure up the middle, and will start with a short field. All right, the Evergreens have to sense blood in the water here. Carson Dovchek with the block. Carson's had a good game. Got a lot of defensive stars for the Evergreens. Arlen Sangster, Dovchek's been good. Cole Stevens has made his presence felt too. 1st and 10. Pass. Lefty throws and overshoots his receiver, Flynn Huffman. Huffman's got 3 receptions, one of them for a touchdown. It was just a bad throw by Jack Bobinski. Evergreen's first pass attempt of the second half. Road wins are always fun. You get the bus ride home. The Evergreens looking for just that. Here's a handoff. Hole up the middle for Vinny Tesh. Got to be, I think, just short of the first down. You know, again, as the O-line asserts itself more, you know, the offensive linemen, they don't get enough credit. You never touch the football. You're doing the dirty work for somebody else. The offensive line is having its way since halftime. Preble needs a stop. The Evergreens need 3 yards here. The yardage on the ground's just been coming in bigger chunks than that so far. Jumping into the neutral zone, Evergreens are going to get this first down on the cheap. Yeah, that nose tackle, 44, he's not on our roster. But he was the one who jumped into the neutral zone and will go 5 yards forward and will move the chains. Yeah, the Evergreens, you just get a sense, could power their way to victory. Bobinski's from the pistol, and a flip to the near side. Can the Evergreens get the corner? No, we've got a penalty marker that comes in late. Pearson McDonald with his second carry of the day. Holding. No. There we go. Referee pointed in the wrong direction. Got it. A hold on the Evergreens. Spotted at the line of scrimmage, so we're going to go back to the 45-yard line. Evergreens will get to replay first down. Single receivers to either side, and Bobinski will be under center here. Fakes the handoff, it's misdirection. Blake Bangston got back some, but not all of the penalty yardage. It's a gain of 4. Now that they're up by 2 touchdowns, I think the Evergreens are happy to keep the clock moving, keep the ball on the ground. Bobinski's got 2 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. Two receivers up high. Two backs behind Bobinski here on second and long. Design rollout. The protection is good. Crystal clear protection to one-on-one coverage. Jump ball, and the Evergreens receiver wins the battle. No, it's the Preble defensive back who comes away with it. Jump ball there, and Ian Kriegs comes away with it. Preble gets the ball back. Boy, tell me who wins the battle for that ball would have changed the way the rest of the game could have played out. If it's the Evergreen receiver who yanks that away, we're up by 3 touchdowns and are probably looking forward to a happy ride home. Instead, Green Bay Preble comes up with the interception and gets to live again. Football's brought to you by Fleet Farm. Get ready for fall cleanup with all the gear you need. Mowers, spreaders to grass seed and fertilizer at Fleet Farm. Check out supplies for outside jobs, pressure washers, shed and paint. Everything you need for one stop at Fleet Farm. 1st and 10. And new quarterback in, David Torres, who was injured on the last sequence. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. And one of the Preble linemen is down. Yeah, you know, when you're the smaller team and the bigger team is just asserting itself here, the injuries are starting to pile up, which you hate to see. I believe that's Ben Watcher. Stops the clock here at 2:01 to play in the third quarter. It's only been 1 touchdown since halftime. Vinny Tesh with a 6-yard run in an exclusive on-the-ground 60-yard drive. First time the Evergreens had the ball since halftime. Gave them the 21-7 lead that they are enjoying right now. Injured player has still not gotten up. So, I mean, what does Preble have here? 14 points to make up. Injured starting quarterback, and it looks like they're about to lose one of their offensive linemen. Looks like they're working on that knee, which you hate to see. The knee injuries are tricky and could be any kind. Well, let's see if we're going to get this player up to his feet. We'll keep it here. Otherwise, we'll take a break. Yeah, let's take a break. 2:01 to play in the third quarter. It's Everest 21, Preble 7. Back after this injury timeout on Zaleski Sports.
When the last thing you need to happen does. One of our 16 mobile service trucks from Sherrill Tire and Service Center can keep you rolling and growing. Sherrill Tire and Service Center, your locally owned farm tire specialist.
Sherrill Tire and Service, keep growing and rolling with us.
Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
That is Ben Watchler, who's just been helped off the field. So 2 offensive starters out there. And now back in is David Torres at quarterback. Single receivers to either side. Torres is going to need the ice bath when this game's done. He's taken a lot of hits. Looks to throw to one-on-one coverage. Receiver's got a step, just overthrew him. Again, the Evergreens show that single man, which means you're showing a lot of confidence in your defensive backs to be able to run with some pretty fast receivers. Jack Newman couldn't quite catch up with that. It is third down. Got a flag down at the line of scrimmage. No, that's just the ball that's spotted there. So the ball's back behind the chains. Preble needs to move the ball out to the 31-yard line. And again, the Evergreens usually have sent pressure in this spot. Here comes the blitz from the backside. Torres is roped down. You know what? The Evergreens player who got there, they're going to say got his face mask. Yeah, Right, or was inside his jersey and is going to get called for a horse collar here. This is going to be a personal foul, and if it's from the spot, it may still not be enough for a first down. Let's wait and see. That's kind of just unlucky. Yeah, we're going to step off the penalty, and it is not enough for a first down. No, personal foul. Yeah, it's going to be a personal foul, face mask, not an incidental. So the first down will be awarded there. That's a break for Preble, keeps them on the field. On what was 3rd and 14, and the Evergreens pressure was going to get home. Yeah, that Everest player was just unlucky. I mean, he reached out towards the quarterback and got part of his helmet. New set of downs for Preble. Well, Everest fans, take a deep breath. I mean, that's the first break that the Hornets have gotten in this game in like forever. There's a little bit of confusion here. On the sticks over on the far side. You know what? Preble's going to get the first down anyway because the sticks have already been moved. How can you reset here? So you know what? I'm seeing this as it's not going to be a personal foul face mask. It's going to be an incidental face mask. But I don't know how you can reset the chains over on the far sideline when you've already moved the sticks to a new first down. You're doing a little bit of educated guesswork as to not only where to spot the ball. I mean, the ball's where it is, but they're going to say 3rd down. No automatic first down. 3rd and 9. So the football gods, I thought that Preble got their first break in a while. They took it away. There it goes. So we will play this as 3rd down and 9. Yeah, they changed that to a 5-yard incidental face mask, and now Preble will take a timeout. I was going to be disappointed if our officiating crew, which has been pretty good tonight, by the way, if they were going to take another break to talk things over, not sure about that. We'll stay right here. Got a minute and a half to get to the end of the 3rd quarter. This was a 14-7 game at halftime and is now 21-7. A lot of the high schools that are not starting today play their first game tomorrow. Got a full night of sports on Zaleski Sports. Lots of football ahead. And the marquee game, oh, look, me and my crew will be down at our marquee game. That'll be Stevens Point and Kimberly. Who do you like in that one? Panthers will have home field advantage. You know, Kimberly had that forever winning streak in all those state championships, and they just seem to reload from one year to the next. Spash has got high expectations, too. 7 o'clock kick. You and I have a date. 3rd down. Late pressure coming over the middle. That's a nice catch. Complete for a first down. Quinton Ramsey lays out, hauls it in. First down. That's the best offensive play of the night for Preble. 16-yard completion to the 41-yard line. Credit where credit is due. Again, if Preble can stick the ball in the end zone, the 4th quarter becomes kind of interesting, right? Singles to either side on the ground. Contact behind the line of scrimmage and now moving forward. Second effort, Flavio Guzman. Called Carson Dovchek's name a lot tonight. He's made the tackle there for the Evergreens. One of the few times the defense hasn't wrapped up on first contact, and that first contact came behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe just one play left here in the 3rd quarter. Preble needs points, trailing by 14. Twins up high, single receiver down low. Snap is below the quarterback's knees, loose in the backfield, picks it up deep behind the line of scrimmage. They're going to say that's an incomplete pass. Although that's got to be grounding. Who is he throwing to? He was throwing towards the near sideline. There's no receiver over there. Hopefully the officials will huddle up and call this intentional grounding. Even though he was throwing that towards the near sideline, there was no one along the near sideline. And they're going to call that as an incomplete pass. Threw to exactly no one while falling backwards to the seat of his pants. Very fortunate to have the ball back at the original line of scrimmage. Third down. Evergreens have a coverage problem. They're short a man on the near side where there are the Twins. Got a man in position here. And you know what? Preble didn't see it. Threw over the middle, and there's another completion. Tackle made by Cameron Sari. And on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter, Preble has moved the ball across midfield in a spot in the game where they just simply need points. One of the Preble linemen is slow getting up. Sawyer Moen, senior, 225 pounds, and they're looking at his knee too. Once Moen's is tended to, the clock will start, and that will bring the third quarter to a close. So Preble twice has gotten to third down, and twice has gotten big pass completions over the middle to extend this drive. Brandon Kugel is going to come in as a replacement. Yeah, well, we've got a moment here. Boy, what a lineup we have tomorrow. We've already mentioned that we've got Kimberly and Spash at 7 o'clock. I see we're putting Tom King to work as Edgar will take on Lakeland, Spencer Columbus, St. Croix Central, Amherst at Clintonville, Assumption at Necedah, Mosen East Stratford. That'll be an interesting game. Luxembourg will play Wapaka. Now that's a big Friday night of football. In fact, every Friday night's going to be big here at Zaleski Sports. Third quarter comes to an end. Preble's trying to hang in there, but boy, they need to come away with points on this drive. The fourth quarter awaits with DC Everest leading the Hornets 21-7. This is Zaleski Sports coverage of DC Everest High School football.
If you lose direction, you can grab my hand. I'll be the one behind you to say no. One man band. Just follow your dreams and keep your promises.
We're all different, but we all want great health insurance. See why we're rated #1 in service, coverage, and affordability in Central Wisconsin.
Winter's coming fast, which means it's time to hit the trails. Bill Service Center has all things you need to stay warm and dry on the trails this winter. With a full selection of jackets, bibs, helmets, boots, casual wear. And don't forget that Bill's is your chainsaw safety gear headquarters. Bill Service Center is your one-stop connection for all your cold weather riding gear.
Don't freeze your jingle bells off. Get your cold weather riding gear at Bill's Service Center. Bill's Service Center, where the adventure begins.
Teams change directions to start the fourth quarter, and on first down, pass incomplete in the flat. Looking for Xavier Simon. And so far on this drive, Preble has bailed themselves out with third down pass completions. Picked up 2 first downs. I don't think Preble punts the ball back to DC Everest, so everything looks like 4 down tries on this drive. 2nd and 10. Pass lofted here. That's complete out of the backfield. Ball is loose, and the Evergreens have it. Penalty marker down, though, and I'm not sure if the official meant to throw his beanbag and may have thrown the flag instead. I think this play is clean. Blake Postler's got the fumble recovery, and yeah, it's a turnover. The white hat waved off the flag immediately. Yeah, side judge looking for the beanbag on the catch and the fumble. And boy, that's the mistake that Preble could not afford. This will be the second time the Evergreens have possessed the ball up by 14. And you just think more points is the haymaker for tonight. Singles on either side. Back to the ground game. Bangstrom has 3, 4, has 5 yards. Football Tonight is brought to you by Whitetail Properties and our game day sponsors, Era Pancakes and Merrill Iron and Steel. I mean, again, I'm forward thinking here. If the Evergreens go up by 3 touchdowns, you're in the fourth quarter now. How much time is left for the comeback? Maybe the drive that puts the game out of reach. Handoff again, lunging forward. That's first down yardage for Vinny Tesh. Tesh has been a nice alternate to Caden Bangstrom. Both big kids. Bangstrom has more carries. Wow, I thought they had Tesh with enough for a first down, and they're moving the ball back about half a yard. 3rd and short. Second man through. Wow, there was a little bit of contact in the backfield on a play where Preble needed to stop that for a loss. Bangstrom's got a 2-yard gain, and the chains move. Other thing, too, you keep the ball on the ground and the clock keeps running, and old Father Time is going to be a friend of the Evergreens as we move through the fourth quarter here. Handoff, and there's the seam, and there's Tesh spinning, going 10 down to the 5-yard line. Spin move, pretty. Tesh rips off 35 yards, and the Evergreens are knocking on the door. Going to spot him back at the 6-yard line. Thought he may have gotten inside the 5. Under center. Bangston's the back on the near side here, and it's Bangston who's going to carry. Cuts inside the 5, not into the end zone. Cut the distance in half. From the 6 down to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Evergreens have another play called. They're right up to the line of scrimmage. Preble may want a timeout here. I mean, a touchdown just puts you against the wall, and instead it's handed off to the end zone. The push forward, touchdown, Evergreens. That just has the feeling of a moment of victory tonight. Caden Bangston carries in from 3 yards out, and there's the 3-score lead that the Evergreens have been pushing for. The Evergreens have owned the second half. Coming off the field with his arms raised is Jack Babinski. He's feeling it. Boy, I mean, what are the quarterback's best friend? A good running game that can set up the pass and a good offensive line. The Evergreens have been solid on both. And that's a line drive. Wasn't pretty, but is good. Stastniak is good on all 4 of his extra point tries, and our new score is 28-7. Evergreens by 3 touchdowns. Back after this break, this is DC Everest football on Zaleski Sports.
Edgar Family Restaurant is located just south of Highway 29 in Edgar and open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, drink, dessert, get it all at Edgar Family Restaurant. Homemade food to fill your belly and your soul. Daily specials including Friday fish fry, soup, salad, pies made from scratch, and a full menu of choices are yours at Edgar Family Restaurant. Give back to those who support our community. Give back and visit Edgar Family Restaurant for breakfast tomorrow, then stay for lunch and dinner too. Edgar Family Restaurant is a proud backer of Wildcats football.
That touchdown set up by a turnover. Evergreen's got the ball on a completed pass and then a fumble. Short field, 40-yard touchdown drive, capped off by Caden Bangston's 3-yard touchdown run. And you just get the feeling now that the Evergreens have what they need. Waiting for blocking, coming to the near side, and just getting out to the 27-yard line. That's Ty Gerard. Well, you know, if you've ever been around a big football program, getting the team on the road, I mean, it's like moving a small army. Got the 2 coach buses that made the 90-minute drive over here. So winning your opener on the road, that's a little bit different angle. It just feels different than last year's home win over Green Bay Preble, where the Evergreens were up big in the first half and were able to salt away the third and fourth quarters last year. This was a one-score game at halftime, and the Evergreens have shifted back to power football and have tacked on 14 points to their lead here in the second half. 1st and 10, throwing over the middle, got a man behind the coverage, and Preble is going to get that touchdown back. Jack Newman to the house. It's an 80-yard touchdown pass. So perhaps the white and blue W pennant does not get flown from the back of the bus just yet. First play after the Evergreens go up by 21. The lead immediately goes back to 2 touchdowns. Need the extra point here. Kick, line drive, good. 28-14. I'll tell you this, as good as the Everest defense has been, the Evergreens have let their defensive backs be in one-on-one coverage a lot tonight. And on the 80-yard touchdown, yeah, that burned them. Still up by 2 touchdowns, and my sense is that the Evergreens aren't in any danger here, but, I mean, the asterisk here is, I mean, what do you have to avoid here? Sure don't want a 3 and out. Certainly don't want a turnover. Don't want to give the ball back to Green Bay Preble with a lot of time to work with. So the Evergreens, again, to secure this win, have to accomplish what? They have to accomplish a little more. Football is brought to you by Stone Innovations of Plover, here to serve you, specializing in fabrication, design, and installation of stone countertops. Stone Innovations operates the most advanced fabrication equipment in the industry. Online at stoneinnovations.net. One word, stoneinnovations.net, to begin your order. Evergreens are moving up some of their return team, wondering if there'll be an onside kick here. I think you kick off and play defense. That sure is the more high percentage play, and that's what they're doing. A lot of air under this. Ball is fumbled. This is just what the Evergreens cannot have. And Reese Stoll gets on top of the ball. That's a big play there. Boy, is that a big play. Yeah, my goodness. If that ball comes loose and you turn the ball over there, boy, do you let your opponent right back into this game. So the 80-yard touchdown and then a muff on the kickoff that the Evergreens get the ball back, 25-yard line. I mean, the door was open for a little bit. New quarterback in for the Evergreens, and they're going to hand the ball off. Reese Stoll, who had the recovery, is in. Blake Bangston carries. He's the sophomore. And he's got 5 yards. And for only one play, Bobinski comes right back in for the Evergreens. No, what's going on here? Stoll is going to be the quarterback. This is some wildcat formation here because Bobinski is setting up as a receiver down low. Is this a little too clever by half? We're going to find out here. Quarterback keeps it. Tuck that ball away. First down. Again, the Evergreens in the second half have just shown the ability to hand the ball off and get yardage. So how deep do you go into the playbook? How much trickery do you show in a game where you think you could hand off and get the job done? Again, Bobinski stays on the field. That's the quarterback as a receiver down on the near sideline. Stoll keeps it himself, gets that seam, and he's got himself 16 yards. Bobinski, again, the receiver who's downfield is the most fired up player. He's leaping and he's pointing his arms, making the first down signal. Bobinski looks like he'll have a thing or two to say on the bus ride home. Bobinski is calling the play in the huddle. Looks like he will resume regular quarterbacking duties. I mean, if nothing else, the Evergreens have gotten enough yardage here that they'd flip the field. If they give the ball back to Preble, Preble would have a lot of real estate in front of them. 28-14. No, Stoll is here. Handoff up the middle. Tumbling forward is Blake Bankston. 7 yards. So yeah, Bobinski's, look at this, this is unusual. Bobinski, who's setting up as a wide receiver, is calling the play. He's consulting the wristband in the huddle, and then he's going down towards the near sideline as a receiver. And it is Reese Stoll, the junior, who's at the controls here. Two receivers up high, got a man across the formation here, and quarterback will keep it himself. First down. Well, I'll tell you this. Reese Stoll is a nice change of pace because, I mean, here's the running quarterback. Here's the guy who just wants that seam, and the offensive line has been giving it to him. I would think for the Evergreens, tougher opponent next week, Chi-Hi on the road. Can the team take a step forward between this Thursday night and next Thursday night? Here's a handoff. Now, one arm tackle kind of brings down Blake Bankston. Still gets 4 or 5. You know, when you put in all the work, when you do the lifting and you do the preseason conditioning program, when you get to the end of the game and you know that you're just physically stronger than the guy lining up opposite you, for a football player in the trenches, that's a really, really good feeling. And I think some of the Everest offensive linemen have that feeling now. Stoll keeps it, kind of ran into his left tackle there and gets short yardage. 1 yard. 5:20 and counting. Yeah, it's Bobinski now being used as a receiver who's going over to the sideline to shuttle in the play. And under 5 minutes to play. If the Evergreens pick up this first down, boy, they're going to get to take a lot more time off the clock. And quarterback keeps it, tried for that seam, and it closed. Stoll gets only a yard, and up comes fourth down. Again, the Evergreens keeping this between the tackles, keeping the clock moving. Caden Bankston comes back in. The Evergreens are going for this on fourth down. It's in no man's land. Ball at the 24-yard line. Unreasonably long field goal, too close to punt. So here you go, fourth down. Boy, does Preble need the ball back like the desert needs rain. Now Bobinski back in at quarterback, and he'll throw. Got time, steps up, he's going to run, and he's going to get the first down. Boy, that's the play that seals Preble's fate. Got a stop on fourth down, and they would get the ball back, trailing by 14, so hope springs eternal. But the first down keeps the clock moving, and Preble's just not going to have enough time. Again, Chippewa Falls next Thursday, another big school. Probably tougher matchups for the Evergreens, too. But we'll enjoy tonight, which is going to put the Evergreens at 1-0. They'll open with wins against Preble for 2 seasons in a row. Blake Bangston carries here, 6 yards. And the Evergreens will run the play clock down as far as they can. I mean, touchdowns are nice, but what you want here is time to come off the clock. Under 3 minutes to play in the game by the time the Evergreens snap it here. And it is back to Bobinski at quarterback. Boy, who's that in the slot? Is that Brett Gast in the slot? Handoff here. Just short of the first down is Caden Bangston. Third and 3. Yeah, touchdown here makes it academic. First down kind of brings you much closer to bringing the clock all the way down to zeros in this situation. Stay with us after the game. We've told Coach Tim Strelo he's got no choice. He's doing a post-game interview with us. We'll be down on the field for that. Extra lineman in, handoff, trying to get the seal to the end zone. Touchdown, Evergreens. Caden Bangston has carried in for the second time. Back to a 3-score game. And no doubt about it now, the Evergreens on to victory. Bangston with a 6-yard touchdown run. Extra point try for Stasniak, and it is good. Our new score, 35-14. You know, one of the nice things for football players when you get a win before the school year begins, you can stay up late and celebrate. I'm not sure how many of our Everest guys are going to turn in immediately once they get off the bus. Have that luxury this week and next week and week 3 too, before the academic part of the fall begins. Post-game bonfire at whose house? Some of us who do the radio news in the morning, we don't have that luxury for Thursday night home games. In fact, if everyone's got to play 1 or 2 games that are not on Friday night, Mr. Conley votes for Saturday afternoon games. Better than Thursdays. Yeah, tomorrow we're back at work. We got the Kimberly Spash game. We're looking forward to that. Back to the goal line. Got to try and run this back, try and make something happen here. Cutting back and doesn't get back to the 20-yard line. I wonder if David Torres, who's been bruised and battered tonight, will come out for what's going to be the final series of the evening. Everest defense has been really good tonight. Gave up one big play, 80-yard touchdown pass in single coverage. Okay, so you tip your cap. That time the receiver simply beat the defensive back. No problem. Defensive line solid, linebacking core super good. new quarterback in. Yeah, David Torres. You want to have him fight for another day. Xavier Simon hands off. 4 yards. Evergreen starting quarterback Jack Bobinski, his day, 2 touchdown passes through 3 interceptions. Evergreen's running game and offensive line get the helmet stickers, at least from my eyes today. This is a handoff and a first down. And we'll be under a minute left in the Thursday night opener when the clock winds again. Our friends at Green Bay Preble have been really nice hosts. We thank them for having a spot for us here in their press box. I think they may stay on the schedule for future years, so we'll look forward to hosting them perhaps a year from now, and we wish them the best of luck for the rest of the season. Looking to pass here and ran into the arms of a waiting Everest defensive lineman. Brett Gast. One more snap is going to do it for tonight's game. 14-7 at halftime, and the Evergreens add 3 more touchdowns in the second half and on to victory. Going to pass for the final play. Stepping up, throwing over the middle, complete. Clock is down to zeros, and one more tackle will do it. Xavier Simon is down, and the candle is out. 35-14, DC Everest, a Week 1 winner over Green Bay Preble. Best wishes to the Hornets for the rest of the season. And the Evergreens will look to step up in competition and see if they can take a step forward next Thursday when they'll be on the road against Chippewa Falls. Stay tuned to our Zaleski Sports coverage. We'll be on the field with DC Everest coach Tim Strelo. We'll also have a player interview, or maybe 2. Recapping our scoring, the Evergreens took the first drive of the season, went 60 yards. Bobinski to Flynn Huffman for a 29-yard touchdown pass. 7-0 Evergreens. Hortonville tied it up with an 11-yard touchdown pass to Jackson Racine with 6:52 to play in the second quarter. We were tied 7-7 for a while. Evergreens took a lead that they would not relinquish on the final play of the first half. Jack Bobinski to Preston Miller, just got his foot in bounds in the far corner of the end zone, 14-7 at halftime. I thought the drive of the game came at the start of the third quarter. Preble got the ball and went 3 and out, so a good stand for the defense. Then the Evergreens fed the ball repeatedly to Caden Bangston. It was Vinny Tesh who carried the ball across the goal line. It was the only time someone other than Caden touched the ball. The Tesh 6-yard run put the Evergreens up 21-7. Caden Bangston gave the Evergreens a 28-7 lead on a 3-yard touchdown run. The one big play that the Everest defense gave up was an 80-yard touchdown pass. Jack Newman in one-on-one coverage got behind the defender and went to the house. It made it 28-14. And then Caden Bangston would score his second touchdown with 2:03 left to close out the scoring. 35-14 the final score. Freshman kicker for the Evergreens, Jake Staszniak, 5 for 5 on point-after-touchdown tries. We'll be on the field in just a moment. We'll speak with DC Everest coach Tim Strelo, who right now is gathering with his players over at the south end zone. Up next is the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds at Nasonville Dairy, Marshfield, Curtis, and online, NasonvilleDairy.com. Final score is 35-14 for our first Zaleski Sports DC Everest football broadcast. Down to the field we go as the Evergreens celebrate their victory after these messages. You're listening to Everest Football on Zaleski Sports.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, nasonvilledairy.com. All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968 and took it over from there, and it's been just a fantastic growth. Great community, great people we have working for us. Oh, it's an open market. It's huge. You know, the opportunity for the diversity in the cheese industry is fantastic, and you have to be that way in order to sell a lot of product. And so we've got a great group of people working on the research and development side for us. So it's been really fortunate for us. Oh, right. We have 185 farm families that market their milk through us here at Nasonville Dairy. And we are so lucky we have like the best dairy farms in not only in central Wisconsin, but in the United States, marketing milk through us. So we're just really fortunate on that side.
Actually, we started in 1968. Our father brought us here from another cheese plant in Wisconsin. We had come from the cheese business. We've always been in the business. We had moved around the state in different parts. He brought us here about that time. The plant ran 7,500 pounds of milk at that time, and now runs about 1.5 million a day. So. We originally started out with making cheddar, and now we make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parma, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafflettieri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda, Edam, and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
If you lose direction, you can grab my hand. I'll be the one behind you to say no. One man band. Just follow your dreams and keep your promises.
We're all different, but we all want great health insurance. See why we're rated #1 in service, coverage, and affordability in central Wisconsin.
Good.
We think it worked on our end too, so hey.
Yeah, I think
all
it
right.
Figured us out. Didn't take long.
Hey, John, what's up?
Yep, I haven't just gotten over there yet.